Okay, for our step over retro step, with or without rotation, okay, we'll go through that rotation part at the end here, but just a kind of a progression from your typical retro step, which I absolutely love in the program. So just real quickly, retro step, you're kind of in this position here, good stack of thorax on pelvis. We're gonna basically get all our weight onto the trail foot. Feet are always gonna be facing forward. I like to even bias the inside of this trail foot just to kind of see how my knee kind of moves inward a little bit as I kind of bias the inside. I still have a good tripod foot here, but I'm just slightly biasing more inside of the foot. And when I go into my rotation, so this lead knee is gonna go forward, that's gonna rotate my hips back, and I'm gonna hinge straight back with my left rear pocket, as opposed to if there was a wall here busting through the wall, because now you can see my knee is inside my hip. So when you kind of get in that position, you want a good line between toe, knee, crease in the hip here, sternum, and even your nose, okay? And so with the step over retro step, basically we're gonna start here, we're gonna step over. You'll see how this foot is kind of off on a 45. It doesn't have to be like 90. If you can get there, great, but you'll know a huge difference in your range of motion if you do this way. So I'm gonna kind of be off on like a, I don't know, I guess that's 35, 40 degrees here, but everything else stays the same. So I'm still gonna try and bias the inside of that trail foot. Most of my weight now is still on this trail foot. You can see my hips have rotated, okay? I'm gonna drive my left back pocket straight back as I exhale. Okay, so again, 90% of my weight is on this trail foot. I can pretty much pick up this front foot if I needed to, okay? And then from here, I always like to take an extra breath. You don't have to, but if you're really trying to focus on mobility, which is kind of why I'm giving you this drill, it's probably best to kind of sit here for another breath, because that inhale in this position is gonna push your diaphragm down, pushing all your guts into your pelvic bowl, opening things up, creating some space, okay? And then as you exhale, you can kind of come back up with this hip coming forward, and then just kind of step back, okay? So again, breath in, step forward and over, okay? Exhale as you hinge back, straight back, keeping the weight on the inside of the foot. So again, straight line between toe, knee, crease of your hip, sternum and nose, okay? And then take another breath, exhale, and as you get to kind of like the last third of this exhale, drive the hip forward, and then come back. Okay, so that's kind of your step over retro step. We can add a rotation to this if it's not too much to think about. So step over, okay, I'm gonna exhale, go down. I like to kind of put this hand on the outside of this knee. As I take that next breath here, as I normally would to kind of sit here, I'll exhale and rotate up. I am really stiff today. I've been sitting at my desk. Okay, so that wasn't a good rotation, but hopefully you guys get it. Let's do one more here. That's a little better. And as I come to the end of my exhale, just come back up and step back. Guys, that is your step over retro step with or without a rotation.